Welcome back to Casey Cares, Kansas City's nonprofit voice and digital resource, helping organizations to survive and thrive. We'll tell your story to our community. I'm Ruth Baum-Biggis.
And I'm Bobby Keys.
And we're rolling along.
Yeah, just rolling.
Rolling.
We forgot the amount of kids that they're serving.
Through Lift Up?
Yeah, through Lift Up. It was, what is it?
177 kids.
This season, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot. And they need a lot of help.
They need a lot of help. And, it all goes to show you the saying, one person can make a difference and change the world.
Yep.
One mentor to one kid. Look at all those 50 scholarships for their program. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
50 kids who probably wouldn't have gone to college or maybe at the level of school that they're going to. So shout out to Lift It Up, Casey. And now we have a shout out to another great organization in Kansas City.
Yes.
And it's the Mid-America LGBT Chamber of Commerce. And we have the first full-time executive director.
We'll put in trumpets like right there.
Awesome.
With Suzanne Wheeler. Welcome.
Thank you.
And
welcome,
you've
Susan.
come on board in the last few months, which is just wonderful.
Yeah, I came on board the 1st of August.
Wow.
So it's been a wild ride since.
I was going to say, with your feet on the ground running, and we also have board member Josh Dampf.
Hi there. Thanks so much
Josh.
for having me.
Yeah, welcome.
You bet. How long have you been on the board?
I'm actually not on the board. My
bad.
I'm an individual that was a part of the Steve Metzler Mentorship Program, which is one of the
which we're gonna
fantastic
talk about.
programs we have. And I'm a graduate of that program and proud to be here. And
Nice.
maybe one day soon be a board member. Maybe we're just speaking that into the,
Right.
into the world, into existence.
Exactly.
Willing
we can
it.
only be so lucky.
I like that thinking. Well, let's talk a little bit about, bring everybody up to speed, rather, on the chamber. You're now full-time.
Yes. The LGBT Chamber of Commerce, we just went through a rename. We were formerly known in the community as the Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce. To become more inclusive, we added the B and the T onto the chamber, and we looked at adding other letters to the chamber and expanding it, but that gets a whole lot to type. But we're an enormously inclusive chamber. Going through a lot of changes. We just went through a major rebrand.
You did. We'll have to show your fancy schmancy logo.
Yes, and Hallmark helped us out a lot with that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they're the ones who created that beautiful logo for us. And the cool thing about that logo is it has a tie kind of to our area because it's based on the Gilbert font, which honors Gilbert Baker, who was the creator of the Pride flag.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's an amazing font that's so colorful and so bright and so bold and diverse. And the amazing thing is when people look at our logo, they'll notice that the colors change as where the colors intersect. They're different, which really kind of represents the intersectionality of the LGBT community.
Now, was all this going on as you came into the organization, or is this your energy? And
oh no, I jumped right in the middle of it.
that's always fun.
It has been a kind of a wild ride for the past couple of months, but it was one of those things that we did have in the works. This has actually taken about a year to really go through. It's the first organization I've ever worked on a rebranding with, and that's a challenging endeavor.
I think unless you've gone through something like that, you don't realize the detail. It's this skews this way and that color does that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
You're working with a lot of small businesses. They just don't realize the importance of the minute details that go into a rebrand and things like that. And it's awesome to see that, what you guys have done. Is that so? Where's your background? Were you
in nonprofit?
In nonprofit world, or were you?
Well, kind of and sorta.
Okay, I like that.
I originally came, I'm a 30-year Army veteran.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for your
yeah,
service.
thanks
Oh, it's my pleasure. Grew up here in the Kansas City area, left for my Army service, gone for 30 years.
Wow.
And as I was retiring from the Army, I was trying to figure out where I wanted to come back to. And as an LGBT individual, Kansas City's changed a lot since and the world's changing too, but Kansas City has enormously changed.
Yeah.
And I decided after all the different places I was looking, Kansas City's where I wanted to come back to. So that's what brought me back here. And I knew as I was leaving the military, I didn't want to go back and do the same thing. I didn't want to go to work for a military contractor or anything like that. I wanted to work in the nonprofit sector. So I left the military. I was working over at UMKC in HIV and AIDS training in the area of HIV prevention and helping train the national workforce on a grant through the CDC that UMKC administrates.
Wow.
So, and then this job came open. They were in the second tier of a national search when I decided to apply, and I didn't think I had a chance. And all of a sudden it came up, and which is fabulous because the chamber really has played a major role in my transition in life in so many different ways.
Really? So how has the chamber?
Well, first,
helped you?
when I was leaving, and for the folks who haven't figured it out from the baritone voice, I'm a woman of transgender experience. And when I was leaving the military, I actually came out about a year before I left the military. And when I was leaving the military, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. It's tough enough doing the transition from the military world into the civilian world.
So you came out your last year in the military?
Yes. Yeah, in about 2015. We can do a whole radio show.
I was going to say that to me, I was like, whoa. I won't go down that rabbit hole, but
I ended up, I had some friends who said, why don't you come to Kansas City and come to a chamber business-to-business event with us? And one of the first people I met at that event was our former executive director, Michael Lintigan.
Well, who can resist Michael?
Oh, yeah. And as I walked away that night, I knew I was going to be okay. Because before that, I was sure that as a trans woman and as a military veteran, I was going to have a very, very hard time finding a job in the civilian sector. And I knew that Kansas City has this amazing, incredible community of LGBT and allied businesses, and that I was going to be able to make a good living for myself when I came out. So
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
And since that moment, I've been an ambassador in our chamber. We have this really cool program where if you're a new person coming in, really what we do is our job is to make new people comfortable within the chamber. And so I was doing that, and I've been a chamber member for 4 years before I took the job as the executive director.
So for people who aren't familiar with the difference between an LGBT chamber, just let them know.
Yeah, what is the difference between the big guy and the...
Yeah, what's the difference between the Hispanic chamber, your or the regular chamber and your chamber? That's
a great question. Really, with the LGBT chamber, we're focused on the LGBT community. Our mission is to advocate, promote, and facilitate the business success of LGBT businesses and allied businesses within the Kansas City area. Actually, Midwest. I was just up in Nebraska last week working with the business too. And it's about networking, both for employees coming into our large corporate partners and our large corporate partners helping support our small businesses. Plus, we've got multiple programs out there that team with other organizations in Kansas City to help train LGBT businesses so we can get them out there.
Define LGBT business.
Really, it's any business that's more than 51% owned by a lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender individual. And there's actually a national certification for that through the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce that we help businesses get. And then we also work with our corporate partners and governmental agencies to add that certification into their diversity programs.
Okay.
To help them, because a lot of large corporations need to do a certain amount in diversity buys for their corporations. So we try to set our business members up to be those folks that those corporations and governmental agencies are buying from. So much like the other chambers.
And I could imagine, I guess it's a silly question, but have you seen, more and more LGBT businesses pop up in the Kansas City area? And
absolutely, I was just sharing this with Josh out in the lobby. We are the 5th largest LGBT chamber in the nation.
Oh wow!
At any time, we average between about 350 to about 400 business members, and then we also have probably close to 2,500 associates right now, which may be employees for those businesses or other people who are individual members, those type of things, which is amazing because when you look at it, we're blowing the doors off of communities like LA and Chicago and New York, and that says a lot about Kansas City.
And I want to bring Josh in here. As part of, you have a robust menu of programs, one of which, of course, is the C. Stephen Metzler program, which is Josh, talk about the mentorship program.
Absolutely. So it was about 3 years ago that I saw this mentorship program pop up online as an option where 6 individuals that are just starting out their careers, 5 to 10 years into their career, you apply in 6 get each year into this program, and you're paired with a mentor in our business community that can help you figure out what is the next best step in your career and who can I help connect these young professionals to take their business to the next level. So I applied for that program, didn't imagine I'd get in, and I was super grateful to become a part of the 2nd year of students. And I went through a program for 2 years where the first year we meet twice a month, one in a group setting with our 6 proteges and 6 mentors, and we have a curriculum that we walk through. And that goes through business development all the way to authenticity in the workplace. What does that look like for an LGBTQ person? I was born and raised in a small Christian family in St. Louis. I was a pastor at a major church here in Kansas City before I came out. And when I left that community, I lost a lot of leaders and mentors in my life. And in that transition, applying for this program was a part of me reaching out and saying, hey, I can't do this professional journey by myself. I need support. And I got into this program. My mentor is Chris Hernandez, who's with the city of Kansas City, and has been so influential in my life and how over 2 years I started dreaming up what would it look like for me to start my own event planning company. A year and a half into the program, I wrote up this fake business model because it was fake. It was a plan for like 5 years later. And no doubt within the matter of 6 months, before I even graduated the program, I had acquired enough clients to go full-time. The first of those were all through the Chamber of Commerce to start my business.
Yeah. Hey, that's the networking.
That's the way it worked out, and I am super grateful for so many individuals that poured into my life professionally, but then also said, hey, we're going to join with you, and we need you to come on to help with Sporting Kansas City's events, and we need you to come and help with the Folly Theater's events. And it took our community coming around me to create a platform for success for my business, and I am super grateful for the program and all the mentors and proteges that have poured into my life over the last 3 years now.
That's fabulous. What a great endorsement for your chamber.
Exactly. That's why we brought him along.
If somebody wants to find out more about the chamber, or if they qualify to be a member, where's the best place to go? Website?
Well, everybody qualifies to be a member, but the website is the best place to go, www.medamerica.lgbt.org.
And I encourage everybody to go. You guys have got all kinds of programs, and thanks. You'll have to come back and update us.
Oh, yeah,
we're
absolutely.
excited about
Often.
it. You know, they can go out to that website, see all kinds of events, not just chamber events, but events all the way across our membership. And then we also do put some community events up there, too.
I noticed that on your calendar.
other-
It's
Yeah, nice.
great. It's great. Well, thank you for coming on and updating us, and welcome to Kansas City as the first official full-time executive director.
Well, thank you so much. It's been great being here.
You bet. We want to thank you for listening to Casey Cares, Kansas City's nonprofit digital resource, produced by Charitable Communications, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Casey Cares is generously underwritten by the Ewing Marion Kaufman Foundation.
Casey Cares podcasts are available at caseycaresonline.org. To be a guest on Casey Cares or for underwriting opportunities, visit us online at caseycaresonline.org. Spread the love and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Apple, everywhere. Just search at Casey Cares Online.
And be sure you care. We'll see you next time.
ESPN Kansas City is KCTE Independence and K233DM Raytown, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM.